So as I prayed about it, I was like, I still need to get my education. I got to get my degree in something, as my parents always said. So I chose music production and composition, and it just kind of took off from there. After that, I really wanted to focus on Christ because he led me to, this where I am right now. And I don't want to say I knew he would, but I knew he gave me a purpose in my heart to make music for him. And it's by the grace of God that I am where I am right now, even if it's not like a huge following or, you know, a huge presence in the game right now. I just, got to thank him for getting me out of the situation I was in and putting me where I am now.
That's awesome. Well, listen, shout out to your mom preaching and teaching. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. When you said it, I was like, man, now I really feel bad that we had you late. Or not late, but leave a little bit. Sorry, mom. Sorry, man. But listen, I have a question for you because I've been all on your social media, being very, very nosy, and there is a beautiful baby on your timeline all over the place. Can you give us a little insight about that?
Yeah. So that's actually a very deep story. I won't get into it too much as we are, we want to be pressed on time. But that is my daughter. Her name is Ren. She is the daughter of me and my ex fiance. But we, we do our thing and we co-parent. So yeah, that's my beautiful daughter. She is one. She actually just turned one, June 11th. So we're just now learning to walk, which means daddy is just now, we're baby proof in the house, making sure you can't open everything. But yeah, so that's my beautiful, beautiful daughter. I can't, thank God enough for a gift like her. So, that's daddy's little girl. And, I'm daddy, I'm little girl's daddy. So
Listen, tell me, okay, before I let focus jump back in here, tell me like one or two things that the Lord has done in you since you've had a daughter, something that you can clearly see different.
oh yeah. Oh man. Where do I start? I think one major thing is that he softened me up, my heart. I think I'm more open to receive grace and mercy and give out grace and mercy, especially as a parent. I mean, she's only one, but she gets into things that she's not supposed to or does things, or we're going through a phase of the she hits, but she's one, but
Yeah.
just having that heart to say, not to go straight into, oh, but don't hit, or, kind of to be like, hey, let's, do something else. Let's refocus our energy somewhere else. So having that, just that pause moment and being like, hey, let's do something else. It has really worked into honestly my entire life now. If something's not working out or if something's not going my way, it's kind of like a redirection, hey, let's redirect our focus, to something else. Cause honestly, something that is a huge thing that I've been dealing with is writer's block, which I really don't like to throw that word around a lot because I don't necessarily believe in writer's block a ton. We can go into that later. When I do have those spouts of not hearing Christ, because that's what I think it is, not hearing Christ, I can redirect my attention to, okay, well, I don't need to be doing music right now. Obviously, I need to be in my word. So it redirects me into something, either learning something new or relearning something that I already know. So I think that's one of the biggest things that parenting and being her father has taught me was to be able to read and not a drop of the hat, of course, but I'm seeing it a lot quicker.
That's good. No,
At least.
yeah, no, I always like to ask that question because, I'm a daddy's girl
Mm.
and it's super important to have, definitely a father who knows the father, and it just it changes your life. It makes a huge difference in your life. So
Well,
it's
especially
really, yeah.
especially as a black man. I mean, that was my biggest thing. I know even though her mother and I separated, I knew, as a black male, I needed to be in her life.
Mhm.
And that's really important, especially in our culture. I think even as, someone who's in the hip hop culture, being in her life was, an extreme importance, especially as a woman,
Yeah,
teaching her how to love and how a man should love or what a man should do, especially in this day and age is extremely important. So
absolutely.
yeah, that was it's affirming to have a little girl, but it's also it's a very big responsibility that I don't take lightly. So
Listen, I want to salute you too as well because that is a big moment that a lot of unfortunately black men miss sometimes when you talk about you said you and your ex fiance decided just to co-parent, but you still remain in your daughter's life. Like that's very very important. So I want to salute you for that. I do want to ask you though too as well though with you separating from your ex fiance. do you take time for yourself just to kind of reflect on, the course of past relationship? Or do you feel like you're ready to like hop into a new relationship, when you talk about the court process? What does that look like for you?
Right. So well, I actually we separated a while ago. So 2 years ago coming up. And I now I have a beautiful girlfriend. We share a dog together. So we're both living our life
Oh, that's cool.
away from each other. But I think at the end of that relationship, I really wanted to make it a focus of God. I don't want to focus on anybody else. I need to focus on one, fixing myself in that relationship because that hurt. I mean, you go from thinking that was, what God called to realizing that's not what God called. So dealing with that is a beast in and of itself. But yeah, so I went to counseling. That was a way for me to, get through it. Was I knew I needed a counselor to talk about it, but not just talk about it with my friends, of course, because, they're always going to be on my side, which is just to have someone to see it from both sides. And that really opened my eyes to even now, I think it helps me be a better boyfriend going into, to be a better fiance and a better husband. Because I don't date, for no reason. So the girl I'm with now I've heard clearly, but it made it plain. Let me tell you, I told love, like Jesus, I was like, hey, I need you to tell me and I need you to make it plain because I thought I heard before. So I was, so I heard, but yeah, I had to go through a lot. It was a real process by fire, because one, I didn't want to hurt anybody else. I didn't want to hurt somebody, after this because I didn't want to be hurt after this. Two, I knew I needed counseling because I didn't want to be scared on the next relationship. You know what I mean? I didn't want my hurt to cause pain in the future. So and ultimately God, God helped me through it to see, what I didn't see and to, block out the lies of the enemy. Because he was definitely lying through that time, saying it's all your fault or it's all her fault. It's that and the other. When in actuality, it was just both sides, couldn't come to an agreement and we separated, which I think was extremely mature for both of us. So yeah, it was interesting. I wasn't immediately ready to jump in to something else. The Lord had to work on me and had to press me. So.
Okay. Good. I know we got to talk about this music. I mean, we're all in your business, but
No, it's totally fine. Come on.
all in your business. So no, but we want to get into what is it that you are actually currently working on? I mean, I know you've been hanging out at stellar events and whatnot, but what's going on?
Yeah. What am I working on? So the song that I performed like a ton at the Lunar Stellar events was called Water. And I specifically wrote that for that weekend because I wanted something new. But it's a part of an EP that just came out last Friday, which is called Who Is This? And I made it specifically for the Stellars because people are going to be asking, hey, who is this guy? So that was a good introduction, like, who is this? This is who I am. And I'm getting good feedback from it. So I'm glad about that. But right now I think I'm working on my self-titled album, Nobody GHY, which will be my first album. It's going to be 9 songs, but I'm trying to get producers that are not me because, we all love, when we're like, oh, I self-produce myself, but I am not the best producer and I want to give the best product. So I'm going to outsource, I prayed about it because, that's a lot of prize for all but I had to outsource and I'm slowly, bringing in producers and talking and getting the right matches. But right now I'm working on my self-titled album. How long that's going to take, Lord willing, only a year, but we're praying, fasting and seeking guidance to it all. So that's what I'm working on right now is my self-titled album, Nobody GHY, which is actually hilarious because it's going to be like, who is this? And then the next thing is going to be Nobody GHY. So it all works out. Yeah.
That's hilarious. That's good stuff though. You want to explain the Nobody GHY to our listeners?
Yeah. So Nobody GHY is low-key a 2-parter. When I first started music, I was thinking of a name, like, you have to have a stage name. I didn't want to go with my government name. So I was sitting there eating popcorn and I heard from the Lord, he was like, when I put you in the position that you're going to be in, or when I, allow you to start making music, I want you to realize that you are nobody without me. So my name is humbling, Nobody GHY, nobody, you are nobody without Christ in this music. And the GHY actually came from my producer tag, or if you hear me on any features, you're going to hear, nobody's going to hurt you. and the nobody is the GHY is going to hurt you. So nobody GHY kind of, came together, and I was like, oh, that's kind of catchy. So I decided to keep it. So that's where you get the nobody GHY. It's nobody's going to hurt you. Which, in depending on how you look at it, when you're listening to my music, no one's going to hurt you if it's a soft, sultry song. But if it's hard and the bass hits, nobody's going to hurt you. So.
Listen, you're tuned into The Fix, source of fake news, hip hop, R&B, and poetry. Right here on SiriusXM, channel 154, Holy Culture Radio, DJ Focus, Dice Gamble. We chopping it up right now with the Nobody GHY. We got to go to break, but we'll be right back. Keep it locked. You're tuned into The Fix.
Fix is in.
You're tuned back into The Fix, your source of faith-infused hip-hop, R&B, and poetry, right here on SiriusXM, channel 154, Holy Culture Radio, DJ Focus, Dice Gamble. Listen, we're still talking with the talented Nobody GHY. Nobody GHY, listen, you said a lot about just your inspiration of your name before we went to break. Can you talk about your specific sound and that inspiration that you draw when you create, when you go into the studio to make the music that you make?
Yeah. So my inspiration, first I got to credit God, of course. Nothing I do, is apart from him. So my inspiration is God, the Holy Spirit, Bible, and things of my spiritual guidance. But I think when it comes to sound, I inspire to be like KB in a way of biblical sound music. I take inspiration from the somewhat secular, like Drake and Bryson Tiller, and I try to have that R&B-ish vibe, but I ultimately can't say that I sound like anyone. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn and be like, oh, I'm one of one, which I am, thank the Lord, because, he makes us all in his image. But I don't hear anybody, singing the way I sing or doing, the cadence that I rap in. But I think that's good. I think that's good. But I also like to take some inspiration from, people who are, not necessarily big either. Like I listened to Mitch Durrell, who was another rapper. I listened to Pot, those two are like really rap, rappers. They do a lot of rapidy rap, which I take that and I'm like, I'm not a rapper. So I do rap. So I do more of a singing melodic type of rap, but I look up to those guys because they can take, metaphors and twist them and make them into bars. And I really do that inspires me just to write, not to really make, try and be like them when it comes to, putting in their metaphors and things of that nature, but to go into the studio and write something that will hit somebody just as hard as their stuff does. So I take inspiration from all around, really, and not just artists either, from nature. I take inspiration from the kids that I teach. I'm a middle school teacher. I teach in the inner city. So I take inspiration from them and their hardships, things that I don't necessarily deal with. So my inspiration comes from all around, really. And I think you can hear that in the music too.